And it worked. Awesome. Awesome.
Way to go. You guys just got a nice intro to our new intro.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, 1 second for me. I gotta.
What, are we all good over there? This is why we have a countdown.
I know. I know. No, sorry. My bad.
All right.
Well, I noticed we were clipping, like we were hitting the red.
Yep.
I'm like, oh shit. Maybe I did turn it up a little bit, and I did. Apparently I did. My bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was actually the first time we've used an intro
Yeah.
like that.
So
So we've consistently made this show better every single time we've posted.
yes, we have. That's because constant improvement is what we aim for. And when you start as low as we have, it's kind of easy to begin with.
Remember the first one? Like the whole thing is choppy. It's still up. I haven't taken it down. We haven't had enough to actually like merit us to take anything down.
Oh yeah. I mean,
once we get to like 30, maybe I'll take down the first two.
maybe, but that's kind of like archiving the progress we've had. I'd like to have those stay up, and we'll discuss that sometime.
Okay.
All
We'll keep them up. We'll keep them up. But yeah, so episode 6.
Yep.
It's been a pretty crazy 2 weeks.
Right. Yeah. A lot's been going on.
What's been going on with you though?
I mean, I've been doing all of my usual stuff, work, getting into my geek stuff. Like I was discussing last time, I'm getting some D&D together. I think I went maybe 3 years looking for just a couple people for a group, and now I have 2 groups going on simultaneously. So got that going on for Dungeons & Dragons. Recently did a Magic the Gathering tournament, just a small Friday night Magic thing. And I've been playing the game for a long time, but it was always just a couple friends. So I get there, see there's a lot more people than I expected. Usually there's like maybe 8. This was easily about 25 to 30.
Yeah.
And I got handily stomped. Just
Damn.
terribly stomped.
Bad?
Bad. Like first match, I didn't think it was too bad because it's basically best out of 3. And I lost but 1 to 2. I'm like, okay, this is a nice precedent. This is going to set me up for the rest of the series. And I might take a couple wins away from this. I was wrong. I was so wrong. I got Raffle stomped on that so bad.
Okay, so how do the Magic tournaments go? I'm not too familiar with Magic in general. I know it's just a turnstile card game.
Right.
That's my general knowledge.
There's a lot to it. I mean, if you're absolutely new to it, it's got a very heavy fantasy setting, but it gets very technical, especially if you're getting into any tournaments or even Friday Night Magic. One of the things I ran into, because I've always played before with just me, a couple friends, and we just play with what we have on hand. If we're going to make a new deck to play with, it's what we have on hand. What I've seen a lot over here, and which it probably attributes to their success, is a lot of people, they watch like the high end tournaments, like the people who are in like national, international tournaments, and they say,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is what they used. I'm going to make the exact same thing and play with it."
Hope for the same turnouts.
And that's the thing. Like, if you have a decent grasp of the game, but you have a deck like that, odds are you will play similar because you're playing odds with it.
Yeah. The only card game that I ever had experience with was actually Yu-Gi-Oh. Was Yu-Gi-Oh. That's the only one that I actually got into playing.
Which was janky as fuck from the beginning.
I did collect the Pokemon cards, but I never played it.
And
I never understood it.
I did the same thing, and that's how I felt about Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, I never collected it, but I saw people who did and they played, and I just I don't really understand. And like, if you like look at this versus what they have on the TV show, it's janky as fuck. You have no idea what the fuck's going on half the time. Half the stuff they do in the show you can't do in the actual card game.
Oh, as far as Yu-Gi-Oh goes?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was I thought it was pretty close. I thought it was a pretty close representation of it.
Like Kaiba in like the first 2 episodes dropping 3 freaking Blue Eyes White Dragons same turn. I'm pretty sure that doesn't fly.
I don't know. I can't remember. There was multiple summonings though. As long as you had the appropriate cards for summoning them.
Right.
I thought it was fun when I was playing it. I thought it was fun.
Like,
I actually
I've played a couple times with like other people's cards, and just kind of mess around.
Yeah, yeah.
It always just seemed like you're flying by the seat of your pants when you're playing that game.
Yeah. My biggest practice was just destroying my brother every time. I'd make his deck, and then I'd make my deck
to counter his. It's like, hey, play this game with me.
I'm sorry,
you
Jeff.
Fucking loser.
I'm sorry, dude. But but yeah, we would play consistently, and it actually got to a point where my grandparents took me to a couple of tournaments.
Right.
Holy crap, man! Every time I'd go, first round, done. First round, done. I'm like,
now,
what?
It's not that brutal in Magic, but it's a game that's been around for, I want to say, at least as long as I've been around. So a minimum of 27 years.
Well, it's one of the oldest ones.
Yeah, and it's been consistently good. It's been consistently played, and then you have all sorts of different different leagues.
How are the releases? Do they come out with new cards?
Yep, they
consistently?
do. They do very consistently. Basically, you're gonna have your blocks that come out, and you might have 2 blocks in a year, maybe 1 block in a year, and that block is broken down into sections of maybe 2 or 3, and they're all stylized. This block, you're going to expect to see this. Like, one of the more recent ones was Amonkhet, which was a very Egyptian stylized one. So you're going to see a lot of that art. They're going to be playing a lot of abilities that go along that bent. And kind of what they've done consistently is every new set will introduce a new ability or a new, like, type of function. And they play it for a while and see, do we want to put this into regular circulation, or is it just going to be in this block? So down the road, they'll be like, so after that block finishes up, maybe 1 or 2 blocks down the road, when they start printing, what they would have is they'd have like yearly releases. So you're having your blocks, and then you're having like your 2015, 2016 release, and that's like more of your standard stuff. And if it passes the block test, you'll see it coming back in the standard blocks, in the yearly blocks, and then it'll become a regular thing.
Okay. Now, does any of these blocks have repercussions as like what can be played in tournaments?
Oh yeah.
Like
again, it depends on what kind of block you're in. If you're in standard, that's pretty much like the newest and maybe the last 2 blocks. Those are the only things that are legal for that. So anything going past that, you can't play it.
Oh, so okay, so they're released in these blocks, and then if they do well in those blocks, they can have a option to be put into the standard block.
No, standard is basically all the newer sets. Then you have modern, which goes further back as far as what's acceptable.
Okay.
And then there's legacy, which is anything goes essentially. And then they'll ban some cards. Be like, hey, when we released this, we didn't realize how broken this card was. So
yeah, because that was another question. Like,
yeah.
Do they come out with like some cards that they're just like, oh crap, well this is just too overpowered for?
Oh yeah, and that definitely does happen. Like, and I'm still working on trying to make better decks and everything. And I was trying to put a deck together, and I was talking to a friend of mine and said, hey, I've got all this together. What's this look like? I'm like, I've got this card that's really nice. He's like, oh yeah, that's banned.
That's banned.
I've got this another card that works well in it. Oh, that's banned too. God damn it.
Oh, okay.
So, and it's funny because at least from my perspective, as someone who hasn't been playing the tournaments and stuff as often, it's not the flashy big cards that are usually banned. It's the small ones that give you a very quick advantage early on.
Oh, okay. What's the deck size for that?
Minimum deck size 60 cards. And there's no, as far as I know, there's no maximum deck size, but you want to get as close to 60 as possible because you're playing odds.
Yeah.
Aside from your lands, which help you put things onto the field, you have, unless the card says otherwise, a maximum of 4 of any one type of card. So if you have 6,
so there is limited repetition.
right?
Okay.
Yeah. Unless the card specifically says there's no maximum number of these you can have in your deck, you can only have 4 at the most. So if you have a certain combo you're trying to get off, you want as many copies of that in as small of a pool as possible. So when
Yeah.
you pull from it, you're more likely to get what you need.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. So how far did you make it in the tournament?
I got stumped.
In the first
Like-
round?
Like, each round is best 2 of 3.
Okay.
First round, I lost 1-2.
Well, at
And
least you got one in, right?
Yeah, every other one I got stomped, except for my bye, which technically counted as a win. I don't count a bye as a win.
Yeah. It's just
So everything else was just me getting rolled over.
oh.
Yeah.
Ooh, how many total did you play?
If you count each individual match, like with the 3 to them, so
Yeah, not rounds, but
so
matches.
nine games, 1-1.
That's not all that bad because if you went to a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, it was tiers.
Yeah.
So if you didn't make it
Well,
past
that's
the
the
first
thing.
tier,
This wasn't like a real big like, hey, money is down. I mean, there was money, but not a lot.
yeah.
Like the number 1 winner walked away with $30 and was $5 getting in.
Oh, okay. It's still
So-
$25.
So yeah, but still, that's
But
like
those places have overhead and they have to make money. So
right. Oh yeah. And Friday Night Magic, if a game shop runs Magic and they do Friday Night Magic, it's pretty basic. That's like the bare minimum. Hey, I want to get in and I want to start playing. This is the only place, and I think it's because the owners actually go to leagues and everything. The skill ceiling is set very high there.
have you looked into Hammer Girl? Do they do Magic tournaments
I
at Hammer
haven't.
Girl?
I haven't gotten to go there since the last time we went there.
Dude, this summer I definitely want to start going there a little bit more because I mean, as far as like community wise, they seem
Oh, yeah.
pretty tight.
It's a good community.
They seemed like they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
And plus their owner, those random things that you buy. Remember, I bought a couple of them, and
Right,
I won a couple cool things like the action figures.
Oh yeah.
Apparently they get those straight from Japan.
I'd love to go there again sometime like in the summer. And you know what might be fun? If we got a couple of those and they were like in like a box or something where you couldn't see what it was ahead of time, we could do a little unboxing here. Like it wouldn't be nothing big, but just be like, hey, let's open this up and take a look what's inside.
Actually, we can rig the webcam so we can get a table view.
That'd be nice.
But yeah, that'd be cool. I would like to get back up there though because that store is just pretty cool. And those things that I bought were straight from Japan. Like he goes over there and buys them and brings them back.
So it's not even shipped. It's personally he bought them. That is so cool.
I believe so because the one had like photos and stuff of what's that one place?
Akihabara?
Is that
I think I said it right. No one kill me for getting it
the
wrong.
Mecca, the anime Mecca.
Yes.
I've watched a few videos on it. And
I'm pretty sure Akihabara is correct.
It looks absolutely insane.
It looks so awesome though.
It looks like Comic-Con on steroids because
like
it's
every
like
day.
that every day.
Every day. Which I was talking to you earlier. That's one of, I mean, I would like to go there, but I've wanted to go to Japan for a long time. I basically made it my mission now. I'm 27 going on 28 to get there before I'm 30. I'm working on my vocabulary. I'm working on basic reading, and I'm going to be getting my visa here soon. So I'm going to make that trip. And hey, if neither of us have nothing going on, want to make the trip, try to plan around that because I'd like to not go solo.
2 years?
It'd be
2
like,
years?
well, yeah, we've got that window.
Within 2 years? I mean, that's actually realistic.
Yeah, that's a realistic window.
Yeah.
That's-
I want to go over. I would like my Japanese to be a little bit more on point because I don't.
Well, I've got a nice program which is really good for helping you learn like speaking Japanese.
Yeah, I've got
Learning
it.
to read.
Remember, I downloaded it.
Well, which one do you have? I got the Pimsleur one, which is pretty good.
Yeah,
You the same one?
I ripped yours.
Oh, yeah,
remember?
I completely forgot about that.
So I have
So-
the Pimsleur.
Try to practice that alongside everything else you've got going on, and we'll try to make that happen because it will be a lot more fun not going solo out there.
I've actually checked out. So I've been going through a book actually, Japanese from 0 to 1, and the author's pretty solid. And there's three, I believe 3 renditions out now.
Yep.
3 what volumes? Renditions?
I think that sounds about right. Volumes,
Whatever.
probably.
But yeah, there's 3 out now. I've got the first one. I made it through the first chapter.
Right. One of the things I think the more difficult, but also something we should work on is the reading. Because
Yeah.
you can learn your basic phrases to get by, but learning to read some basic stuff is going to be super helpful.
Well, that's what's cool about that book is it combines them, and it's not that bad.
Right.
And now, actually, who is it? There's a language app now.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they've got something like that.
It's a huge one though. I'll let you know about it. Actually, after we're done, I'll put it in this description.
All
But
right.
it's one of the best. It's one of the best ones that I've found so far, and they just released Japanese over the summer,
Yeah.
and it's decent.
One of the things I really liked, at least for the writing portion, and for the reading portion, is I got this nice little chart. Literally, all it is a chart with the symbols, as a symbol as it would be printed, and a symbol as it would be written, which there is some differences to look out for, and then the sound that's associated with. This
I would imagine
specifically-
because some of their written characters are crazy, and I couldn't imagine those printed.
and they're like supposed to be interpreted as if you're using a brush as opposed to a pen.
Yeah.
So there would be some stuff connecting where there's no actual connection there when you're writing it. So that's really useful. So if you're actually reading someone's writing, you'd be like, okay, I've got this. And I'm doing hiragana, and the best way I found to do it, really, real easy. So first off, I get a piece of paper, like, okay, this is the first symbol I'm working on. I will write that symbol until I fill up the entire page.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I write the symbol, I say the sound. And I imagine it in my head. So it's trying to get it to stick. So I have like maybe 5 of the characters down, but I've got them down. They're not going nowhere.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
And then
That's
every
good.
once in a while, I'll just sit there and be like, okay, and I'll like write in the air what it looks like while saying it out loud. And that's kind of helping me get that.
Do you know Vice, the website and video
yeah.
Vice? Speaking of symbols, I don't want to go too off track, but remember that S that we used to draw in high school?
Yeah.
The S, the
S.
symbol,
Yeah.
like the S symbol.
I know what you're talking about.
You could almost interpret it as like as an infinity symbol because that one portion does go along the back of it.
You
But-
know what I
but
always
no
associate
one-
it with?
What?
The Seattle Mariners out in Washington, because I lived out there, and around the same time that started getting big, that was essentially the S for the Seattle on them. It was that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, Vice did some research, and no one knows where it came from.
That's my association.
It doesn't.
but-
Yeah. No, a lot of people have it associated with Superman. There's like, but you'd see it everywhere because it was
Yeah.
so simple to like. It was in every single textbook that you opened up. Like,
Oh yeah.
I wonder if there's any like old textbooks still left in Southern Cuba that there's gotta
That'd be
be.
great. I love.
There's gotta
I saw these. It's become popular at least on Instagram, where these people are saying post, like do a '90s post, and someone did like this step by step for doing it. Except for the last step was like 3D, and someone printed like, "Hey, step number 4 never existed in the '90s."
Your logic is broken. But yeah, no one knows where it came from. No one knows what it actually stands for. And there's been reports of it as far back as the 60s.
Really?
Yeah, that part I'm not too. It's not too
I feel
believable
like that
to
might
me.
be like just coincidence at that point.
Yeah, but it was like super easy to draw. So
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, as
I forget because there was like a formula of like what to draw when, like
first
how you go on it.
first 3 lines, second 3 lines, points, and then the crosshairs. No. I'm glad it disappeared though.
Yeah.
Because
It was
got
it was
way,
just so random.
way overused.
It was so random.
Yeah.
And you never no one ever, as far as I saw, used it in a sentence. It was just drawn on its own
Yeah.
and just sitting there.
Yeah.
Like, okay, what is this?
So, all right, let's move into. So you said you were looking into like this is a big jump, but into the school shooting.
Right.
And we were
Yes.
talking about it earlier on how
Right, the one down in Florida, right? That's where it was at.
yes. And we were talking about how now news outlets are trying to say this is the 18th shooting within just this year,
Which is such a
and
stretch.
we're a month and a half into 2018,
Yeah.
and there's no way.
Well, they're trying to sensationalize it. I mean, if there were 18 shootings, it would have covered every damn one.
Yeah.
And considering we haven't heard a damn thing about them, that kind of speaks for itself in that sense.
Yeah.
On top of that, a lot of stuff that they're throwing in with the school shootings is accidental gunfire, people killing themselves like in the parking lots or on the property of a school, unrelated like gunfire, like okay, a bullet hit the school, didn't hit no one, went into a wall, but they said it went to a school. This is a school.
Inner city gun violence is a consistent thing,
right? Nothing's changed.
And you know damn well that's
Right.
It's awful to say, but people get shot getting out of school because they're included into some kind of gang violence or something
Right.
like that.
And one of my favorite things I think was pointed out, especially particularly with the people saying, hey, we need more regulations, we need more this, that, and the other to control guns, because guns are the problem. Guns are why this happened.
Yeah.
Well, tell me, last time there was a police shooting of a minority, was that the gun's fault? Or was that the cop's fault?
Yeah.
You have to be consistent.
Some of that is hard though, like separating like is it the fact that we have such, I mean, they're not really too hard to get, but you still do have to go through.
Well, it depends on what state you're
in.
In New York State, it can be fairly difficult depending on
Yeah.
what you want to get. Like if you want to get a pistol, you're going through a lot.
Yeah.
It's not the same as getting a shotgun.
No. You can get a shotgun, no problem. I
Right.
mean, they do still sell them at Walmart,
Right.
which I don't.
Well, they sell
they
pistols at
should stop
Walmart
it.
too, but yeah.
I don't think.
I'd say the only time you could blame a gun is an accidental gun death. Like where no one was intending anything, someone was mishandling it, or something went wrong, or maybe there was a faulty safety.
Yeah.
That might be an issue. But that's the only time you could ever say, okay, the gun is at fault here, not the person handling it, not anything else.
Yeah. And that some of that would be manufactural as well.
Right. And that's when it comes out. It's not the weapon itself, it's say the manufacturer. Maybe they need to do a recall on weapons, this serial number through this serial number of this type.
You know what really hasn't picked up a lot of traction? Remember when 3D printing first came out?
Oh, yeah.
And people were like, "Oh, now they're printing lower receivers." I haven't heard a lot about that.
I think it's
since
more
then.
of the capability and less people actually doing it. We have the capability now. We just haven't gotten to the point where
the prints are in full circulation now. I mean, it's not hard to get them.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Have you ever seen how many websites there are for free free 3D models?
This is a huge sidetrack, but have you seen the whole thing with Elon Musk selling flamethrowers?
Yes, and it's awesome. I love it.
That is amazing.
I love it.
I love someone posted saying like Elon Musk is the James Bond villain in real life. He's sending cars into space and handing out flamethrowers.
It's awesome. I can't believe you launched that thing into space. Did you see you see how the boosters touched down afterwards?
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome. Did you see his future concept for that?
Oh yeah, no, it was
where
it's
he's
great.
he's trying to get public transportation to a point where a trip across the world 30 minutes. He's talking about how he can launch
getting him to
the
low orbit
craft into low orbit and and by doing that, he'll use that same booster technology where the booster will actually come back to the launch site, land, and that craft will only take 32 minutes to get to, say, Japan.
Right, and that would be so great for cross oceanic voyages, whether it be the Atlantic or the Pacific. It's gonna be huge.
Yeah, but when I seen that, I had to think like, okay, we're making all of these we're making all of these strides in just moving people.
Yeah.
Like he did come out with the Tesla big rig, the 18-wheeler.
Yep.
He did come out with that, but as far as like moving cargo or like goods, it's not going as fast as we're improving on moving people.
I think the more the private sector gets involved, the faster it's going to go. And that's what's really slowed us down for a long time, was the lack of private sector involvement in these advances. Like a big rig, hell, I'm sure it's not going to be 100% sun engineered, but throw solar panels on top of the back of the rig.
Yeah.
Over there.
I don't know how well that would be, because
it would give it a reserve charge. It wouldn't fully fuel the rig, but it'd still give it a nice reserve charge on top of, say, a Tesla battery or even old-fashioned diesel.
I mean, as far as like we already have so many containers, a lot of companies aren't going to go out and buy new containers just because it offers
not necessarily a new one, but a
just retrofitting an older one.
An upgrade. Because all you have to do is find a way to adhere those panels to the top of.
Yeah, just make a quick bolt system.
Yep.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
And then you'd just be updating like the carriage and stuff with the driver. You don't really have to change much with the back aside from outfitting those panels.
Did you see his Roadster?
Mm-mm.
The 2020 Roadster will officially be the fastest production car ever. 250 plus miles an hour. 0 to 60 in
we need an American Autobahn.
I believe 1.9 seconds. 0 to 60. Don't quote me. I did read it a couple days ago, but that is fast.
Yeah, that's crazy fast.
He went. Okay, muscleheads. We're gonna one up your Mustang or whatever.
Like, you think these electric cars are gonna be wimpy little bitches? Mm-mm.
Yeah.
We're not playing that.
He did do that with the first Roadster. The first Roadster was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But this one is just gonna be out of control.
Like I said, we need an American Autobahn. The AA.
And it was something like 630 miles on a single charge. That's impressive.
It
and
is.
It's only like a 32-minute charge.
Now we just need to outfit more areas with chargers. That's the issue, is finding someplace where you can charge it up.
So I was talking to someone that worked at a dealership.
Yeah.
It was actually my brother. I didn't want to put this up, but I was talking to him about it, and it became such a problem that people were charging their car in the back of their dealership. So they were just stealing electricity from them. So they had to like block them in and stuff whenever they seen a car parked there.
They have to like put like a lock over top of the little hatch for it.
Yeah, I didn't understand why it wasn't locked to begin with. Or
it seems like that'd be super easy, because there should be a flap that kind of covers it. Just padlock.
Yeah. I don't know, but there was a problem with it here in Auburn. Since I don't see any electric chargers around here.
If anything, they're probably just passing through.
Yeah. I have seen the white Tesla here in Auburn. There's one. I've seen one.
He's a man ahead of his time.
I feel like he just might be one of the few people that make mad money here in Auburn, and he's just like, I'm about to flaunt my cash, because I'm pure innovation. But I feel like even people around here would be getting like I don't know, jacked up truck or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's purely meh.
Could you imagine the payments on one of those things though?
Probably crazy.
Jesus.
I don't know how much. I mean, it'll definitely get better with time. Yeah. Found out how much you're saving on gas consumption. Which I guess that would be an interesting experiment, and I'm sure there's already information for it out there. But just general, like, average consumption of gas for a car annually, given, like, average commutes for people, average mile per gallon.
Do you know how people are paying for the charging? No, I mean, do you know?
No.
I don't know. I know I have seen like free ones.
Yeah.
They've had like free ones. I know didn't Syracuse try to do one that was free?
I mean, I haven't heard anything about it. What I'd imagine is maybe like a flat rate to charge, and it wouldn't matter necessarily how much you're charging, but just flat rate.
Yeah. Yeah, because well, no, because
how are you gonna regulate specifically how much?
Well, your house has one. Your house has a meter.
Okay. I don't own a home. Thank you. Thank you for pointing that out to me, jackass.
Well, I'm sure.
No,
I'm sure your apartment has one too. But yeah, there's a meter, and
well, and then
it's not that hard.
It's like, how much do you determine that this electricity is worth for that specific amount, and how much is profitable? Is this going to be something that's going to vary? Like gas prices.
As soon as profit comes into play, I don't know, because I do know once in a while the energy prices do fluctuate.
Right, but not to the same degree that we've seen like over the last few years with oil prices, because of the whole situation with the unstable Middle East.
Yeah. Speaking of unstable, have you looked into Bitcoin at all lately?
I have not.
Has
it gotten even more crazy since last time?
It crashed pretty bad between the last time that we talked and now.
Sabotage.
And I know one company was actually hacked and lost a lot of Bitcoin.
Ooh.
So if you own any Bitcoin, look into a physical wallet. Do not keep it with your investor. Just
so it was
take
essentially
it off.
Like download it onto like almost a USB and you have it on you.
Yes, an actual
accessible.
Unaccessible device. They actually sell some coin wallets and stuff, and I guess it's a little different than a flash drive, but it's a better idea than keeping it on those sites, because you don't know how well their firewall security is, or anything like that.
I was gonna say earlier last year, I know our company got hacked pretty bad, and they pretty much just tore us up bad. They were I guess they were looking to basically hold us hostage for what we had.
Oh, really?
And it got to the point where FBI was involved. And I guess in whatever communications that the company had with the people who did it, they basically just said, you were easy. It's like, there are so many computers out there, we just go for the easy ones, and you were it.
Yeah.
You didn't have the security, so we just went for it.
That's why, like, with me working on, like, my server and stuff, the server that I just built, I haven't opened up any ports to the internet or anything yet.
Oh, yeah.
And
trying to keep porn on my laptop to a minimum.
But I haven't opened up any ports or anything yet, because I don't want that chance.
Right.
As far as like I got a TP-Link. Their firewall's not that great to begin with. So I imagine somebody could just drop in and actually take me for all I'm worth.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, it's still a firewall that's blocking all ports, so they can't get in through some random port.
Right.
But I have been looking into a pfSense firewall that I'm actually gonna put in between my actual access point and my local network. And then I'll put the server in between those two.
Okay.
So you'll be able to access the server through the access point, but you won't be able to actually connect to any of my other devices.
And would that be connected through a hardwire, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Nothing that I need real speed on is connected any other way. Like I even ran,
which is good. It's a little bit. It's just a little bit safer too.
Yeah. Yeah, I ran the hardwire over here, and I hardwired my server and everything.
See, I'm
There's
starting to
cat
learn
6.
things. I know what that means.
Yeah. There's cat 6 like spanning my house, and it looks kind of awful, but I mean it's the best I can do for renting. I'm not going to
Right.
drop cable in the wall
Mm-hmm.
and waste cable that I won't be able to take with me.
Right.
But yeah, everything in my house is so much faster now because of that gigabit internet. Oh my god.
Oh.
And every network interface that I have is gigabit. So like my server runs on gigabit. All my switches I got were gigabit. I contacted Staples, right?
Right.
And I was trying to find a switch.
I feel like you're gonna have issues because you had issues getting a chair there. So when you start getting into complex issues, I think Staples is gonna fall a little bit short.
So first off, their Google Maps, like on Google Maps, they are listed as permanently closed. So I'm like, they've really got to fix this. And I've worked there before,
Yeah.
and it was a mess when I was there then. But I call and I'm like, hey, I'm looking for a switch, and the guy's like, we have switches. I'm like, okay, so I want a gigabit switch that's managed. It's like we have
Light switches.
we have a few switches, and I'm like, can you check and see if any of them are managed or if they're just a plug and play? And he's like,
And see, that's the issue when you
We
run
have
into people
switches.
who are just hired on, who aren't specialized in anything. They're just hired on personnel.
well, that's why every time I do call, I try to get one of the people over in tech.
It's like, I want to speak to your manager.
I wanted to so bad, but at the same time, like all the same managers still work there, so I'm like, the one's a real hard ass, and he's an alright dude, but he's a real hard ass, and I don't enjoy talking to him. And then the other one is just a yes man,
Oh, okay.
and he's been working there for so long, he's kind of one of those sketchy kind of like, oh, this customer has a problem, I gotta fix this. He's real twitchy. Like I don't know what it was, but he was real twitchy. But I knew if I talked to him, he would like try to jump through 70 hoops to figure it out, and then
Yeah,
he'd
and you're
probably
just-
give me the wrong information. And I'm
Just
like,
trying to
oh
give
my
you
God,
an
okay.
answer, whether it's the
Yeah.
right one or not.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'll just go there and check it out. Which I went there and I found a few. So I use TP-Link for the most part.
Yeah.
I found some clearance items there. If you want any type of like tech stuff,
Okay.
first check out the clearance aisle in Staples, because
They got some decent-
sometimes they have like the nicest things you'd ever imagine on clearance, and you're like, oh, these are still like $70 online. They have them marked down to like 30. I'm like, oh
Again,
shit.
you look at like the local market and who's buying what,
Yeah.
and they might just have that sitting in stock
Yeah,
forever,
that's-
and just be like, we've
that's
got to
what I-
move this.
Yeah. So they had some Wi-Fi outlets and a few of the bulbs. I picked up a bulb and 2 of the outlets,
Yep.
and they work awesome. I have one hooked up to my music corner in there
Yep.
for those dangly lights
What,
that I
the
have hanging
Christmas
from the
light
ceiling.
Oh no, I'll have to look into
Yeah.
it later.
So I have it hooked up for there, and then I use one for an alarm clock light that I put a 200 watt light bulb in.
To just blind you when you wake up. I mean, it's bad
And
enough
it
you
has
look like
it-
if
it
you look at a
hasn't
phone
worked.
in the dark and that's just gonna, you're not gonna see nothing for a while.
Dude, this 200 watt equivalent light bulb kicks on when I'm supposed to wake up. I have not woken up yet. My alarm's going off. I've got a
You sleep like a rock, though. You do. You
It
sleep
hasn't-
like a goddamn rock.
hasn't worked yet, but I have been staying up pretty late, so I gotta definitely get back to like hammering down on my sleep schedule.
So-
But they're pretty cool.
So what? I gotta ask because we roomed together for a while, so I know when you're asleep, you are out. What
Yeah.
the hell gets you up?
What the hell gets me up? Flogging Molly radio on Pandora. Dude, when that Irish like rock kicks in, you're like, oh fuck, oh what
I was gonna
that?
say, does it like just speak to you?
Dude, no, because it's so loud, and sometimes I'll hook up my speaker. I feel so bad for my neighbor. He's gotta hear it every morning at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh.
There's no way he doesn't, because it just scares the little crap out of me. And if I don't get my heart rate going, like as soon as I wake up, I'm out.
Yep.
Sometimes I'll wake up and I think I'm good, but then I'll wake up in my bed and I'm like, well,
Like-
what happened?
It's like 3 hours have passed, but
Shit, where did it go?
yeah.
But yeah, so I actually went out there. They had a Switch. I found one, and then I looked on Amazon, and it was cheaper on Amazon, so I went through Amazon.
Well, yeah, we just went through this whole thing about, oh yeah, they have these clearance bins and gonna help you. Was that Switch not in the clearance bin?
That Switch wasn't
Okay,
in the
see, that's where
clearance
it is.
aisle.
It's the
No.
a little
Actually, I got
extra info.
pretty distracted with those outlets and stuff, because whenever I go there, I initially go there for something, but then I always end up checking out the clearance aisle first, and then I lose track. Sometimes I've walked out of there without even getting what I went in there for.
I'm just like, not worth it.
No. A lot of things locally are not competitive.
Well, again, like just where we're at, it's a small area.
Yeah.
And I mean, speaking as one of those people, this isn't like high speed, cutting edge, or even like relatively new level technology for the general populace. If it's
Yeah.
not in their phone, most people don't have the nicest things when it comes to tech.
Yeah.
So like, if you wanted to find competitive rates, you might have to go somewhere like Syracuse or someplace larger where
Yeah.
there's more people who are going to be involved with that.
I actually ran into a situation where I was in Dick's.
Okay.
I was in Dick's Sporting Goods, and I found a exercise product, and what's so funny?
Ignore me. Ignore me. Keep
I,
talking.
I found a product that was actually on Amazon for about $20 less, and they price matched it.
Yeah, most places are pretty good with that.
It's getting to the point where they are actually taking Amazon seriously, and as long as it's sold by either Amazon themselves or the product's manufacturer on Amazon, they will match it.
Right, because
Which was-
outside of
which
that,
was
you can
pretty
get into
cool.
some funky stuff.
Yeah,
Like people like selling off to the side or
but
something. that's going on.
Amazon's gotten a lot better with so if you do click other sellers.
Well, it's because Amazon's now its own producer. Like it used to be just like a middleman almost for a long time.
Yeah,
But now it's producing content and
as far as the products that they're producing, they do go through other factories to have those produced.
right. But I'm talking like in the infancy of Amazon, there wasn't like, hey, this is an Amazon product. This is someone else's product that's getting sold on Amazon.
Yes. But when you click on other sellers now, you will see a few of them that are like jacked way up. I don't know how those stores are even in existence, because sometimes they'll be like plus $50 from what you can get it through Amazon for, and it's kind of ridiculous. But those sellers have actually shrunk, because there was a lot of
Right, because they're no longer competitive.
yeah, but there was a lot of them that were actually like still in existence and making money on Amazon a while ago, but they were taking advantage of customers. And the way like Amazon's algorithm works is like you can possibly view an item that's not listed at the lowest price. Like if you click onto that distributor's product like listing, you can actually buy it for say $150, as to where if you did go into the other sellers, you could see the Amazon listing for like $50.
Right.
so they
Which
jacked it up. But you
Which
can
a lot,
fall into
a
that.
lot of stuff factors into that too, though, because I mean, whether it's Amazon or a physical store, I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure you have to pay the company that's selling. Again, whether it's Amazon or Staples or wherever, you have to pay them to get your product onto the shelves. On top of that, you have to worry for a physical store, you have to worry about shipping or what have you. Whereas Amazon pretty much has that covered.
Yeah.
And
You
don't have to worry about shipping and distribution. You just have to get that middleman, Amazon, to take care of that.
You can actually
So that's a lot of money saved there.
You can actually do. It seems like Amazon's like 2-day policy has been costing them so much that they actually give you an option now to do no rush delivery, and they'll credit you $5.
What? No, go through me the whole 2-day plan. What is that?
So when you have Amazon Prime, you can get free 2-day shipping as long as it's a Prime item.
Oh, what?
Yeah, yeah, 2-day shipping on virtually everything, anything you want on Amazon.
I probably don't know about this because every time I have ordered something online, I'm like, I'm ordering this online. I am in no hurry for this.
Yeah,
I'll get it when I get it.
Yeah, but having Amazon Prime, I've had it for what 3 years now.
Yep.
And fast.
Oh, yeah.
And but I have yet to use the no rush delivery. But you know me, I want everything now.
It's my money and I want it now.
But yeah, you can actually do that now. If you're a Prime member, they'll
and what
credit,
they just
credit
just
it
give you
right
credit or just
right
take it off of the charge?
No, they'll credit it to your Amazon like gift card, your
Awesome.
Amazon account itself.
I need to get into that. First off, I need to get enough extra money that I'm buying stuff online.
Well, I get everything off Amazon now, as long as it's non-perishable. That's where I get it from. My body wash, my deodorant, every little thing that I could go out to Walmart for, I get it right on Amazon.
I should do that. I've had Amazon Prime for so long. Or like, are the prices like comparable, if not better?
Yeah, if not better. As long as you order in bulk, sometimes you don't get the free 2-day shipping in bulk items. Like,
but still, that's stuff I'm not
yes
terribly worried about.
6 containers of Irish Spring, the pump bottles.
Yep.
It was like $50, and these are the big ones. You know, they're like $13 each, just in Walmart or something. I don't know if that's the exact price.
Right, you just spitting out.
They're expensive. And yeah, $50 on Amazon. It doesn't give you the 2-day shipping because obviously it weighs a fucking ton.
Yeah,
but you do get it relatively
fast.
That's
something I should look into because I mean, with my situation kind of similar to yours, if you want to get anything in bulk or if you want to go out and do grocery shopping, you either have to find a ride somewhere or you're making a whole lot of trips that day.
Yeah. My backpack is not big enough for the bulk. Like, I buy my toilet paper.
Like, I want to get like those old kind of like carts that they used to hook up to ox and shit, and just like fill that up with it, and just kind of like, okay, I only got like a mile and a half to go. Just dragging it down Main Street.
Yeah, right. No, but see, you'll look like one of those taxi people in
the rickshaws.
In China.
Yes. People are like kind of pulling over. What the hell? Oh, he's just doing some grocery shopping.
Oh wow. I thought I could do that with that
would be great.
That dog cart on the back of my bicycle. But do you know how ridiculous you look?
And you're not going to be able to haul as much as you need to get.
No.
Especially if you want to get for any extended period of time.
I feel bad for my mail lady. My mail lady has to deliver these things, and sometimes they're huge. Like when I get paper towels, I'll buy those in bulk, and like just her tiny. Because for some reason they'll still send it through United States Postal Service.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are they sending these giant packages through just the regular post office? But they do, and I feel so bad for it because every once in a while when I do order like paper towels or toilet paper, they're huge. Because I buy the biggest one I can find with like
Right.
the best
Get
price.
the best price. Yeah, get the best price for it. But
Yeah.
no, it's something I need to look into because I mean, outside of again, like you said, perishables, groceries and stuff, there's all sorts of other things, cleaning supplies, soap,
Yeah. I
you know,
get
TP and all
Windex and
that.
everything right through Amazon.
So that's something I'll definitely have to look into,
Yeah.
especially because, like I said, I've had Amazon Prime for a long ass time.
So some of the major things that I won't go through Amazon for though is stuff like my music equipment. I'll check Spinos or something around here first.
Okay.
And if it costs like maybe $15 to $16 more, I will buy it there.
Yeah.
I will buy it there because
And if you have an issue, it's easier to work on returns through a local shop than it is to, you know, okay.
No. I bought my brother a dongle for his Nintendo Switch.
You keep using that word, and I
Dongle?
keep just
So I bought him
a little dongle.
a dongle, and the first one didn't work.
For some reason, the first thing that came to mind when you said dongle was like a Kong. Like for a dog toy. I'm like, that sounds like something you would give a dog.
A dongle? I guess you could give a dog a dongle. A dog dongle. But yeah, the first one didn't work. I literally went on to Amazon. I hit return, and it sends you an email with the
and you get a
shipping
box
label, and yeah, he just took it up, and as soon as they scanned it at UPS, it was credited to my account. So it's like super easy to return. But as far as like technical stuff, the music shop will know. Hopefully, not a lot.
So you like what you're saying, you can actually speak to the people there.
Yes, and see what other people are using as well. But then sometimes I do find on like you can find better information on YouTube by just specifically looking up that product and watching someone's
Speaking
video.
about music, you know what's something I want to get back somewhat into music. Like I wasn't huge into it before. I played around a little bit, but I want to get better. I'm thinking of getting one or two things. I either want to get another bass guitar, so I like that. I had fun with it, got to mess around with it a bit. But I had like the cheapest. I got on Craigslist, got someone who was getting rid of like a stereo and the bass for like $50. So there's that. Or I could go ultra cheap and just fuck around and get myself a ukulele.
A ukulele.
Because my friend had one of those. I would just like sit around plucking at it, just like having a great old time.
Now that you have a computer, you should definitely look into kind of any of these free DAWs. It's just an interface that you can like mix sounds and stuff with. You should look into that because I feel like you could get into that a lot more than I'm able to get into it since I'm working with like video and stuff. I just get so sidetracked with like because a lot of the DAWs they're not organized like some of the programs that I've used in like Adobe and stuff like that.
All right.
So it's hard for me to navigate, but I feel like someone that doesn't really use too many programs and you just jump into one, it'd be a lot easier to learn it right off the bat.
Now, what sort of system are we talking about? What's the utility here?
EPC Essentials, or is it UPC? They're like Fruity Loops. You've heard of Fruity Loops.
Yeah, they're delicious. Come on, man.
Fruity Loops Studios is FL Studios.
All right.
A lot of music producers still use it. When it first came out, it was like that janky one that all of the up and coming rappers wanted to try using.
rappers.
Yeah, but now it's a serious tool.
Just like the SoundCloud rappers.
Yeah. A lot of them are serious tools. But
there's some salt there.
Little Zanny's popping off on the FL Studio.
How do you even pronounce that one dude's name, like Triple X Nation or whatever?
I don't even know, man. There's so many that have come out.
There's
so many that have come out that it's
Little Xanax.
Yeah, well, Little Xan. His name's Little Xan, but it's Little Xanax. And you know, his name came from, he's got Z's under his eye. Just like, I don't.
Oh my, yes, I love the tattoo game for these guys too, because it's the most stupid shit ever.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. What's funny
it's literally like you got fucked up too much, and you knew someone who had a tattoo machine, and just like, yeah, just put some shit on there.
His mom.
Fuck around till you get something right.
Little Xan's mom actually didn't want him to get a face tattoo, and the very first face tattoo he got was apparently his mother's name, like under his eye, and it was like Candy or something like that. It was awful. I couldn't believe it, but he's like, yeah, I figured if I just came home with her name, she couldn't get too mad. She could
get furious. What the hell are you talking about, you dumbass?
If I came home with my mother's name tattooed on my face, she would remove my face.
Like, I'm gonna keep slapping you about until it falls off.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It'll initially start with the same saying as always. I brought you into this world. I could take you out.
Yep.
And then she would just destroy me. No face tattoos.
No.
Do not get face tattoos. I'm not.
No.
I don't have any tattoos.
I want to get, like, I've only got a few, but I want to get a ton more tattoos. But I will never get anything on my face. I got one on my forearm. I'm not really getting anything beyond that, because I basically want to be if I wear a button-down shirt, you don't need to see my tattoos.
Yeah.
That's pretty straightforward. That's like decent for business, even though there's not quite the same stigma for tattoos. But if you have something anymore.
Yeah.
But still, if you come in with something like that, you're gonna be like,
what are you
unless
doing,
you're
guy?
Yeah, it's like, this isn't a fast food restaurant. Get the fuck out of here.
And it's one of those things, like, maybe what you thought was cool 5 years ago is pretty ridiculous now.
Well, that's why I'm saying, like, a lot of the stuff they do get, it's not like there's no real meaning to them.
It has meaning to them, but
nothing. There's no deep meaning.
Yeah.
The Triple Z's.
Little Xan.
I'm sorry. You're graffitiing your face, essentially.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's nothing.
If it's really good art.
But
cool.
So much of it, again, looks like they just had a friend who had a tattoo machine, just said, hey, do me up, bro.
Do me up. Instead of practicing on that pig skin, why don't you just go straight for my face?
Yeah. Although I did see this one really good thing that was interesting, and this was actually from, like, a tattoo artist who was very good. And the idea was, you come here, you get a free tattoo. What it is you stick your arm through this hole in the wall, and they choose the tattoo for you.
Yeah.
That was cool, because he had some very good art there. Like, even if it may not have meant something
Casey
necessarily to you.
Neistat did a video with him.
Yeah, that was... I saw some of the tattoos that came out of there, and I was beyond impressed, because I've had some shitty tattoos.
That was cool. And that puts a meaning to the tattoo,
right.
which I think is kind of adequate for any tattoo.
Artist expression, as well as, like, having that kind of going out on a limb.
I went and gave somebody my arm without knowing them, without seeing them.
It's
like, you actually took some chance with that,
right?
Like, dude, that's
you put your faith in them.
Yeah,
they were not gonna put little Xanny type tattoos all over your arm.
Pull it out. There's a dick. Oh fuck.
But these are good tattoo artists, so it's gonna be full photographic style dick. It's like, mine's fucking limp.
That would be awful.
Just like photorealistic dick on your arm.
Just got photo limp dick. Great. Awesome. I'm going the rest of my life with this sucker. Actually, laser removal has gotten a lot better.
It's better.
Remember when it first happened, but it looked like a 3rd degree scar.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you wouldn't have a tattoo anymore, but you just have this giant scarred up piece of shit on your arm.
Awful. I've seen a couple of videos on YouTube of tattoo cover-ups.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good artists that can take like a ridiculously terrible tattoo and just blend it right into something, and it looks awesome.
Right.
Looks real good.
And it comes down again to just having the person who's skilled enough to do that.
Yeah, someone that's been doing it a lot.
I'm so angry about like my worst tattoo, the one on my side. You know the one I'm talking about, right? With the angels. It looks like shit. The fucked up thing is I saw the artist do other work, and I was impressed with his work. And this tattoo was 3 separate sessions because it was a big tattoo. And like the first time, I'm like, that doesn't look great. He's like, give it time. I'm going to put in more detail, and it's going to really pop. I'm like, okay. Second time, I'm like, you got a lot of the detail, and it still don't look that good. He's like, don't worry. The last one's really going to finish up. It's going to bring everything together. Last one finished up and said, bro, are you fucked up?
Really?
Because this is 3 sessions, and this thing looks like shit.
What was the outcome of that? Like, he just said that's what it is?
I mean, I'd already paid him at that point, like before it even finished.
Damn.
So I'm like, what the fuck is it? So eventually I want to either get that one altered, preferably altered. I like the concept of the tattoo, but there's enough room in there for someone skilled to put detail where it needs to be and to sharpen edges to make it worthwhile. But I haven't come to the point where I want to do that.
Or you can just go 21 Pilots and just have a big giant black spot. Have you seen like his videos and stuff? But that's not a tattoo. I think that's just makeup.
Yeah.
I think it's just makeup where he paints his neck.
Plus, if I did that on my side, it just looked like I have the world's biggest, most hideous looking mole.
I knew a guy in the army. He actually had I don't know what it actually.
I like the solid bands and stuff. Those are kind of interesting as tattoos.
Yeah. Just always their band.
Mm-hmm.
Those aren't too bad. Those are pretty cool. I got a cuff put on.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's simplistic. I mean, it's not like you're gonna get that and be like, "Oh, this looks like shit." It's like, no, it is what it is.
This guy in the army, he had a brick wall on his forearm. It meant something. I forget what it meant, but it looked pretty cool.
A wall.
It was just a brick. It was just laid brick on his arm. It was pretty cool. There wasn't that much detail to it, but it was just interesting because he knew all about like what it meant and everything. And
right.
Whenever somebody would ask him, he'd give him the whole spiel. It was nice.
Right, and that's kind of what I think you want to have when you get a tattoo, especially if you're not as into it and you're like kind of iffy. You want to find something that's going to have some meaning to you.
Yeah.
And hell, if it needs an explanation, it needs an explanation. But you want something even without explanation,
then you have
people
a
are
good
going to look.
story. And especially if you're a good storyteller.
Right. Those are the 2 things to look for. A, without explanation, you want it to look good. And B, you want there to be a story if it's not immediately obvious.
Yeah.
So if you got those 2 things covered, you're pretty solid with
if anything, people just thought it was like a Mario brick or something. It just looked cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, that works. That way people see it in public, they're just like, oh, maybe he's into Mario or something.
I know one of the things I want to do, because like I said, I do want to get more tattoos. I want to get more geek tattoos, but I need to be very specific about what I get.
Yeah.
I need to be very careful.
You can't get a Triforce. Don't get a Triforce.
No, I'm not getting a Triforce. I like Zelda, but I'm not that big into Zelda.
Everyone has Triforce.
Exactly. I feel like if I did get a Triforce, it would literally just be jumping on a bandwagon, and I'm not about that.
No.
One thing
if you want a Zelda tattoo, it's got to like...
Well, like I said, I like Zelda. I'm not big enough into it where I'm going to get a tattoo of it.
Yeah, but I feel like people that are into Zelda, now they have to like dig deep to find a symbol that like not a lot of people know
literally
about.
What would just be good, and I've seen this with Pokemon, which was really awesome, was the 8-bit art for the character.
Oh, for Pokemon.
Yeah, for Pokemon, but that would be good for Zelda too. You know? Just do an 8-bit Link.
Yeah, that'd be...
I'm doing some technical?
Yeah, that music was just... It was getting a little bit loud, and I'm like, they probably don't want to hear too much of that.
All right.
But, I disappeared out of screen.
Yeah, you did. I saw. That's why I was like, hey, what you doing over there, buddy?
Well, I actually forgot to hook up the keyboard.
Okay.
Because usually I have that keyboard, you know?
Right.
But,
one of the things I'd like to get would be a magic themed tattoo. You know, like Magic the Gathering, like we were
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
yeah, yeah.
earlier. The issue there is there's a lot there. There's a lot of really good art. I want something that's going to be kind of simplistic,
And
but it's also going to be recognizable.
you gotta find an artist that can like nail it on point.
Right. Well, one of the things I wanted to go for is a very well-known card called Birds of Paradise, and I would like to get that, but I want to do that because it's a very colorful card. But what I'd like to do is alternate that and have it done minimalist with some very stark, like in just black lines, and have it very stark. And if someone could find a way to properly do that and still have it be recognizable for what it is, that I would love.
Now with your angel tattoo, did you bring the art in or did you have him design it?
A little bit of A, a little bit of B. I brought in some art, which was like more of a it was a statue along with like some old like Renaissance art. He kind of said this is the direction I want to go, and he said okay, well, and then he did the art and everything.
Did he draw up the first one and it looked good? Oh really? Wow.
Yeah, so it's just ink to skin where it fucked up.
Oh, that sucks.
There was literally no way ahead of time of knowing this was gonna happen. Again, like at the end of every session, I'm like, dude, what the hell's going on? He says, no, don't worry. And like I said, I'd seen his work before. I'd seen what he had drawn, so I was okay. I'm going to give you my confidence on this. And it was just fucked.
That sucks. That sucks. Oh well. Now you have a long story on how not to get a shitty tattoo.
Well, I've got another. I have only one tattoo, which I would say is close to as bad, but I wouldn't say it's even. It's my second worst tattoo, but I still say it's better. But that one was done literally by a friend of mine for free during a time of my life where it meant a lot. So I'm like, okay, well, that's a thing.
Yeah.
So, like, it may not be the best tattoo, but that has a story behind it, whereas this is just kind of like, I just got dicked.
And it wasn't even like he was just learning. He was...
Oh, yeah, like I said, I'd seen great stuff from this guy, and he fucked me.
Damn.
Yeah.
That sucks. Oh, well. Now you have something to work on for the future.
Okay. And, like, well, that's the bad part, is because whenever I'm thinking about tattoos, I know I want to get that one corrected sometime, but I'm always thinking about new tattoos.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about, okay, I want to correct this one. I'm like, well, what's my next one going to be?
Yeah.
If you ever figure out what tattoo you want to get and you want to go down and do it, I'll go with you and I will find the tattoo I want. And we'll make it happen.
I don't know if I'm ever going to get a tattoo.
One.
I don't even think I'm going to get one.
No?
At this point in life, I've already made it through the majority of my 20s.
I've seen people in their 50s get their first tattoo.
Really?
So I wouldn't say age is the issue here.
I don't know. I haven't found something that I'm absolutely crazy about to get a... Maybe I'll get like a PCB board.
Maybe get the logo. Yeah.
No. I did make a PFC logo yesterday, which I was very, very impressed with.
Yeah.
And like I was actually happy about it. I'm like, oh, this works. This really works. I took just a C and then I made like the P and the F sprout out of the bottom of the C and it's like inside of it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Maybe I'll get PFC right on my chest.
Well, one good one. If you ever have a kid, this one's really popular with people. Is just getting the date of birth of their kid because it's meaningful. You can get it certain ways so it looks nice, and that way you have no excuse to miss your kid's birthday.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the Roman numerals for that. It looks good. It looks classy, and
maybe I'll just get notes of all of my loved ones' birthdays because I forget every single one of them. Holy crap. If my mother watches this, she's going to hate me, but her birthday's on Tuesday. And I forgot it was her birthday, all right? So me and my brother at Marshall's, we see this chase bench.
Yep.
And I'm like, "Oh, Mom would really like that. Want to go half on it with me?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, that was easy." I didn't think he'd do it.
Yep.
But
he remembered it was the birthday.
The next day, someone told me it was her birthday on Tuesday, and I'm like, Oh my God.
Like, hey, I'm down. I've got this.
No wonder.
He
no
was down.
wonder he was so down to get that. I just wanted to get it as like, hey, love you, Mom. Here you go.
That's still
Random
nice.
present.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm still gonna get her something for her birthday because I didn't remember.
Right. It's like I didn't originally plan to get this for your birthday. I just want to get it for you, so now I have to actually get a birthday gift.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't believe that though. That's the one that I always forget is my mother's birthday, because I like to get my mother random things rather than like, oh, this is one big thing a year. No, I'd rather give her a bunch of stuff, but I think I'm just gonna give her money for her birthday.
It's like, hey, I randomly got you this chase, but here's some money too.
Yeah.
Are you gonna have to delay giving the chase to like?
No, she already got it. She already got it. She got it the same day that we bought it. But I just can't believe I forgot it. Like any major holiday, I forget every major holiday. Dude, I can't remember shit.
Holidays, like, I don't know how the hell a lot of the other like full-grown adults do it. Holidays get really forgetful once you like have a full schedule all the time.
Yeah.
It's really easy to forget everything.
I like it sometimes because they'll pop up and I'll be like, oh, I got a day off.
Yep.
Major holiday. Nice. Didn't even plan for this.
Like tomorrow, President's Day. Completely forgot about that until like a little while ago when I have to pick something up from the bank. And I'm like, okay, well, when can I come in to pick it up? Like Tuesday. I'm like, well, why not Monday? Oh, well, President's Day. All right.
Son of a bitch.
So.
All right, man. Well, how long have we been up? We've been up for a little while. Do you think that's a good place to call it quits? Is there anything that you wanted to cover?
No, I think we did pretty good today.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
We'll just pick this up again a couple weeks from now.
Yep, 2 weeks from now we'll have episode 7.
Episode 7, lucky number 7.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll do a little more. Like you said, every episode we advance a little bit. We do a little bit better. We put out a little better content.
Actually, I've got one more thing that I wanted to touch base on. Have you looked into getting PUBG yet?
I haven't yet.
Not?
I haven't yet.
So that server, and this works perfectly because now you have a Steam account.
Yep.
That server that I built. This is the third operating system that I've been through.
Okay.
So I started out with the Ubuntu operating system. I couldn't find a good way to create a VM and pass a GPU to the VM. So I went to FreeNAS, and that lets you create a reasonable VM, but you couldn't pass the graphics card to it still.
Okay.
So now I've moved to Unraid. Unraid is amazing. Total game changer as far as having a NAS and VM server and everything like that. So now I can actually pass a graphics card to my VM, and you can play a game and encode the footage through the graphics card, and you can play it on the Steam Link.
So since it's on Steam, if I got it for the laptop, do you think that laptop would struggle with the game? Or do you think it'd be good?
With PUBG, I don't 100% know. I'll check the specs.
Okay.
You're definitely going to want a different keyboard and mouse.
Yep.
Because it is a little difficult on the trackpad.
Well, I've got myself a wireless mouse, so I've got that at least.
So you might be able to play it reasonably with those. And I actually have a Bluetooth mouse and keyboard for my Steam Link.
All right.
So we could actually do that that live stream that we wanted to try with playing games, and we'd be able to capture your gameplay through the card, and I'd be able to just stream my gameplay off of the computer.
Well, do you want to see if that's something we can do? Hopefully, if we do this, I'd like to do it before we record next time, so maybe we can coordinate. I can let's see what the requirements are for PUBG before I go and get it.
Yes. I'll check that out and I'll get it to you in the next couple days. But we can have a little game live stream.
Yeah, I'd love to do it. Like, we could record at least my first play,
Yeah.
and we can try. I don't know, either
Well,
play against or try to work together.
every one of my plays on PUBG looks like my first play. So
So maybe we can finesse some people out there. Be like, oh yeah, this is the first time playing the game.
but yeah, so we can actually do just a game. A game.
No, that'd
game
be awesome.
Cast. Yeah.
Do we if we did if we recorded sessions and everything, how would we want to go about that? Would we want to put it on the channel in a second separate
Yeah, we can
category?
set up two
And be like, these are our PUBG or our live stream
yeah.
games?
Yeah, we can put it in two different I don't want to say folders. It's two separate categories.
Because I mean, they've
playlist.
got that.
Playlist.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
it. We can set it up so we have our actual This Week in Nothing talk show, and then on the other side we can have, hey, watch us play video games.
Yeah, no, that'd be fun. That's nothing new, and it would definitely be a way to kind of flesh out the channel.
Yeah. So that is a pretty good option. Plus, you get to play on the 4K.
Oh yeah.
You get to play on the 4K TV, and I'll be stuck to my 32 inch.
Let's be honest here. I probably will get more kills.
You're definitely gonna do better. All right, so we'll plan on that, and
And that's something
anyone
to look forward.
anyone that is watching, that's something to look forward to.
Please follow us.
Follow, share, probably subscribe.
I'm not begging, but I'm not above it.
Yeah. Well, remember how I said I wanted to talk about that kid doing the YouTube stuff like that?
Right. Yeah, we never got into that.
We never did.
Do we want to save that?
Or
do we want to dig into that
Let's talk
now?
about it, because
All
it
right.
actually has to go with something like this.
Okay, overtime.
Over time. No one's watching to begin with.
Yeah.
But so he's trying to come up with these ideas for YouTube.
Right.
But it seems like, and this is the way with a lot of people, is they think right off the bat, how am I going to make money with this? This setup, I don't give a fuck if I make a dime.
Oh yeah.
I don't care if you don't like my language. I don't care if you don't like my personality.
Well, that's the thing, because this is a project of passion. This isn't trying to make a dime.
I'm not
off
trying to make a dime. And I feel like that's what a lot of content needs to start going back to.
And that's where a lot of the people who have gotten big started off. They weren't trying to make money off it. They just got popular for doing what they do.
One that I always go back to is Philip DeFranco.
Right.
He was not doing a show to make money off of it. Now he is, and you can actually see it in some of his work.
Right.
He fell behind because of the whole algorithm change and the monetization change. So he's gone to Patreon and stuff like that.
Which a lot of people have.
I get it. You need to make a living, especially if you're putting all of your time into it.
Yeah, and if you're constantly putting out content.
But at the same time, you need to establish a base before you try to make money.
Right.
And
like we were saying,
you need to
Can't
learn.
just start and expect I'm going to make money from this.
Yeah, and when you're talking about your very first posts or anything like that, monetization or worrying that it's not going to be monetizable should not be your first.
Oh yeah,
your first
and like
thing.
I said, a lot of people starting off aren't even to the level, at least with setup, equipment, preparedness. Even our first video on here, is kind of above and beyond what a lot of people are when they're first starting out. They're starting off with their camera on their laptop and that mic and just doing that, or maybe having a webcam.
Yeah.
Unless they're really going out of their way, they start out with nothing.
Yeah, didn't we have a mixing board and everything for our very first episode?
Yeah, for the very first. I'm pretty sure it was right in the center of the table when you're messing with it.
I think it was. I think you're right. Yeah, it was. And no, I did set it on the stool when we started
Oh,
recording.
so it
I set
wasn't
it on
it
a
wasn't
stool.
right between us.
No, it wasn't right between us. I had the laptop right between us that one time
Okay.
when we were sharing.
And we had
the,
your whole
the
desktop
audio.
situation right here. We're just kind of like looking off to the side, like, is it playing?
Yeah.
Are we on?
So we weren't worried about it at all, and I'm still not worried about it. I just want to bring something new to this every single time
Oh,
because I enjoy working on this stuff. That 3D intro.
really cool.
I've
I'm
been,
hoping it pops up well on the actual video, and I'm gonna take a look at least at the first 10 minutes, just to see how everything's looking and just to check out that new intro.
I think our audio might be a little poppy today. I hope
We
it's not.
we start out that way for sure.
Yeah, so I hope like the rest of the video sounds halfway decent, but going back to it, his initial thoughts are to try to make money off of this stuff.
So what's he trying to do? What's his concept?
So he started out by tossing me a couple ideas for logos and stuff like that, and like I feel bad because every time he comes to me, I say something about like what he can improve. But that's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear all the time. Is
some people
how
don't
to
take
improve something.
Some people don't take constructive criticism; they just see it as criticism.
Yeah, no, he's taken it in stride. He's taken it in stride, and he's turned a few things around. But just the fact that he wants it to be monetizable right off the bat. Imagine if the creators of South Park wanted to make their show like 100% like what it is now.
They would never have used construction paper, which created the entire feel of the entire show.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be the show that it is today if they were worried about what people were gonna think about it.
No.
Or if they put so much planning into it instead of just doing it.
Yeah, they just wanted to make something.
Most of their shows are pitched and made in 1 week,
which is amazing.
It's awesome.
Which is why they're so successful at being on top of whatever the current trends or issues are.
Yeah.
Which is great for them.
Yeah. Yeah. But they wouldn't be where they are today if they worried about it. They wouldn't have a fucking movie called Basketball if they were worried about being profitable.
South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut.
Yeah. And they're just like, let's make a South Park movie. Okay, what can we do? Well, it's got to have Hitler in it. Hitler's gay with Satan.
Yeah.
Duh.
Saddam Hussein.
Jesus.
Butt buddies with Satan.
Who did I say?
Hitler.
Oh, Hitler. I meant Saddam Hussein.
Which for some reason, when I thought Hitler, do you remember Midget in a Bikini?
Midget in a Bikini?
For their, he was like one of the news anchors on the show.
No.
He was one of the reporters. It was Midget in a Bikini, but his haircut always reminded me of Hitler.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he kind of like had a black.
So it was like a man in a bikini.
Yeah,
a midget man in a bikini.
Yeah,
small person. Let's be politically correct. No,
no. I'm referring to the source material, which is Midget in a Bikini.
See, like, come on. And now that we're in this age of like so many people being offended by everything, like it's so bad that even YouTube's getting hit pretty bad with with like, yes, there is some stuff that needs to be cut out on YouTube. There's some very disturbing stuff on YouTube that needs to be
But the stuff that they're
stopped.
choosing to stop generally isn't those things.
Yeah. Well, they implement those algorithm changes into their programming, and it ends up hitting more people that aren't doing anything bad than it does hit the people that are taking advantage of the system.
Right.
But at the same time, if you want to do something, just do it. Don't worry about anything. Just worry about what you're making.
Exactly.
Don't worry about where you're putting it. Don't worry about who's going to see it. Just put it up there.
Exactly. Like I was saying before, make it a project of passion. If the people come, the people come. If not, enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, it's just insane that...
Facts.
Facts. It's just insane that people are really trying to hammer in onto like the algorithms and how people are actually paying into Patreons. Like there's a there's a trick to that now on how to
Like,
get your Patreon.
seriously, I think we do a decent
higher.
job on here. If we put out a Patreon and even like put it on our Facebook and went out to everyone we could, I'd be surprised if we got $25 between the two of us.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that.
And I feel like $25 of that would be my money.
You're like, someone has to put something in.
Yeah, basically. But all those tools are great and everything, but unless you're actually into what you're producing, then you're not gonna get anything out of it except for crap.
Right.
And if you're trying to just push buttons, like who's that YouTuber that like that's his style, is just being edgy and like they call him blank faggot. You know who I'm talking about. The N-word and then faggot.
Jake Paul?
No. Logan Paul.
Oh, is that his name?
Yeah, that's who's.
I actually feel better about myself not knowing his name off the bat.
It is better that you don't know anything about him.
Did you see? Apparently, that was a thing after the whole incident in the suicide forest. Like immediately after there was a video of him just tasing a dead rat.
Yeah, that just came out. What
Why
last
is that
week?
What the fuck? What the actual fuck is that?
I don't know. Then he tried giving a fish CPR, and then just threw it back into the water. Like, I don't know what's going on in his mind.
That's like,
and he
you need help, dude.
He released an entire video on like how he was learning and like he's really sorry and all this other stuff, and then he goes and puts that on there.
You know what's something I actually found that I just realized was a little funny? So when you were trying to like allude to this person, which I still have no idea who the hell you're talking about, he's like, N-word faggot.
Yeah.
We got no problem saying faggot.
Well, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
But that's what he calls himself.
To be fair, you're a lot less likely to be beat up by a gay dude.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I've seen some thrashers.
All right.
Don't be throwing that around up at any of the clubs in Syracuse. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You probably get beat down with a purse.
Get stomped and raped.
Yeah, that'd be bad. But yeah, like I'm not entirely worried about offending anyone, and if I do, I'm sorry.
Well, like I mean, sure, anyone who's actually bothered to watch these, I think can figure we're not doing anything in attempts to
offend
anyone, and we're not trying to like offend anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in the same boat as you. I'm not going to say the N-word, but faggot, who the fuck cares? I mean, I'm sorry if you're gay out there and you're super offended by that word.
I don't know.
It's like, I don't know how old you are, but if you're out of your teens, odds are that got thrown a lot around when you were kids, and it didn't mean a goddamn thing.
No.
It's just shit talk.
Yeah.
And it's not like actually, I don't know. Maybe I see it differently. I could be 100% in the wrong there.
And it does have a lot to do with where you grow up.
Oh yeah.
What situations you've been thrown into.
I think there's this one thing. Who the hell was it? I was gonna say Kevin Spacey, but I don't think it was Kevin Spacey. I think it was Alec Baldwin, because he's gotten into all sorts of shit because he likes to play fast and loose with his insults, like especially when it comes to like reporters and media and all that. And I guess he called the dude a cocksucker, and they were saying, well, that's a slur. That's a slur against gay people. And he was like, I didn't know cocksucker was a slur.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Huh. I guess you can interpret it as
you can, but you're reaching.
Yeah.
To think that someone intended to be like, you gay cocksucker, instead of just like, fucking cocksucker, get out of here, get out of my face with your camera.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well. But back to it. Yeah. They're worried about who they're gonna offend, and they're not really concentrated on who it pertains to. They want to pertain
they're worried
to
about the people who
everyone.
are going to be mad about their show, not the people who are going to like their show.
Yeah. Yeah, what do we not want to touch into, rather than what do we want to touch into? How do we want to do it, and is it going to be quality? Are we going to have the resources to produce something where we can actually pull it off? Like in a chat, there was a lot of talk about scripting and stuff like that, and it was good. It was good. The ball's rolling.
Yep.
But how, when, and who's gonna pull this off?
And like for situations like this, I think I like our format of just kind of maybe having one or two ideas to talk about as we go, but just kind of letting it roll from there as opposed to scripting.
It's just bullshitting. It's just bullshitting, and that's.
But me, that just fits our format better.
Yeah, it fits my personality a lot better. I believe. Yeah. I don't know how you feel about it, but I don't want to be serious about anything. I like having a little wiggle room here and there.
Well, like I said, the extent of my wanting preparedness is having maybe one or two talking points, and just saying, not even like saying, okay, this is what we're gonna say, saying, let's discuss this while we're on today.
Yeah, yeah.
This thing popped up. Let's dip into that at one point.
Yeah, but if you're gonna create something, you need to have some sort of idea. Like, our main idea for this was we just like bullshitting about stuff. Oh, yeah. So let's just create something where we can sit down and bullshit about something. If you're gonna go into any type of comedy, your main focus is how do we think things are funny?
Right.
What do I think is funny? Do I really think that all of these trigger points and people poking and prodding into like other people's like trigger points is funny?
Yeah.
Like, am I going to make a video about making fun of pronouns and how people are offended by pronouns now?
Right. Which one thing that was super interesting, and it's kind of super backtracking, but that brought up a funny point. So this place I went to for the Magic tournament, this was the first time I'd ever seen it. There was a paper posted up on the window outside saying, "This is a safe space. You know, X is welcome here, Y is welcome here, Z is welcome here, etc." And I heard someone for the first time actually use the phrase "triggered" seriously in conversation.
Oh, they said they were triggered by that?
Like, not by that, but just they were using it in a conversation.
Oh.
And I'm like, wait, you're real? You're serious right now? This
like, you're triggered, dude?
Oh, okay.
All right.
Like, I mean, maybe it's just being out here kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
But seeing that, I was like,
but then
this is here? This is what?
Then again, we do come from a background of we've been in the army.
Yeah.
Like, you need to have, at the point I was in the army, you needed thick skin. Like, you needed to be able to deal with, like, not getting offended by someone making fun of you. Half the time, people are just making fun of you to just feel comfortable with, like, what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
And
I mean, military regardless, dark humor is everywhere. So if you can't take the crass, the grating, the dark, you're in the wrong place, buddy.
Yeah. And then I feel like, I'm not going to say everyone, but a portion of the people that feel triggered sometimes, they just, their personality to me doesn't really seem that broad. Like, they don't have their own personality. They're picking and pulling from other people's personalities.
Right. Well, that's one of the things too, because like I feel like the whole term of being triggered is overused to the point where people don't understand what the hell it's supposed to actually be. Triggered is you're going back to a place that was really messed up. Like if you have PTSD or something of any kind, whether it be combat, assault, rape, anything like that, something that brings back those right there in the moment, that's triggering. That's like, okay, something someone did or said brought me back to that place.
Yeah. I haven't even thought about it. I haven't even thought about it that way.
Yeah.
But like everyone's throwing it around like, oh, this pisses me off.
Triggered.
Yeah. No,
that's not the same.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to remember that. I hope. Hopefully it doesn't get lost in.
I mean, there's just so much out there floating around.
Yeah. Oh well. All right. Well, that's all I wanted to really talk about with that was just the fact that I don't understand what people think about content creation really is.
Well, I think we assuming we remember, we can kind of dig into that a little deeper because I feel like there's more to go into there, but we don't want to get too far.
I would actually like to have him on here.
That would be great. Have like as a guest appearance.
Yeah, we've talked about it already,
right?
Me and him, and I just want to like throw a few things by him, and well, I have been in my conversations with him. And
just setup wise, if we did, we like get another chair and just kind of turn this, and then like panel behind the chair or behind the table.
Oh, actually, I have this set up so we can just boost the camera backwards, and he can actually sit here or on that side.
Okay.
And
well, I was just thinking visually, like having everyone in frame, no one blocking one other person.
Yeah. I've actually looked into it already, so we would be able to pull it off.
Okay.
I would just have to extend my mic as far out as it can go. We'll figure it out.
All right. Cool.
But even an option would be like I'd have him on like on an off week when you're not here. So it would just be like,
well, I mean, I'm just saying I'd be excited to be here to have that other person just kind of like, bounce stuff off of.
Yeah.
So, if you don't get him before then, I'd be interested in next week. Or not next week, but next recording.
Yeah, next recording. Yeah, definitely. I'll see how he feels about it and get him in here.
Awesome.
Because I do want to have other guests and stuff, and I really do want to do like a separate thing too, like just like what I was trying to work on, but I need to find people that won't bail. It's hard.
Oh man, I hate that we're ending because that was something I wanted to get into earlier, but
no, you're fine. Keep.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that is a big thing, especially with people our age and younger nowadays. Very few people actually stick with anything. They always say, this is a good idea, I want to do this, but they never go through. And what that comes down to, in my opinion, is that has to do with this information age and where we're at. Because you're always making plans, but while you're making those plans, you're always looking for something better.
Yeah.
You're never going to be for sure, I'm doing this now, I'm doing this here, I'm doing that. Because what if something better happens? I want to get involved with that. So you're never going to tie yourself down to a commitment to doing something. And I forget where the hell I heard about this before, but this is something I've heard other people go into as far as just always picking and choosing and not sticking to anything for this need of something better. Yeah. Potentially. Even not anything like actually going through.
Well, that pertains to a lot. Like a lot of people do it in relationships. A lot of people do it in business.
Exactly.
They do it in creation.
But I feel like it's gotten worse.
I think we're just noticing it more because we're getting older, and we've had more experiences with it. Because like even with violence in the world, false reporting, everything. It's all been there before.
Right.
But now we have solid records of it, and we can pull from it more now. As to where before we just didn't, it wasn't as prevalent.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't pull from the information that we had. Because it wasn't documented, it wasn't remembered, Mm-hmm. But that's the thing, though, is there's always something better out there. But if you're not working on what's in front of you consistently and like sticking to a plan, then you're not really going anywhere. You're not gonna have the knowledge base for something better if you haven't created something worse.
Right, and that ties directly into what we were talking about before about just going for something.
Yeah,
just do something.
Yeah.
And it ties right into that, because if you can't commit to an idea or a plan, whether it be for your partner, for a project, for work, if you can't commit to any of those things out of a fear that something better is going to come along, you're going to end up with nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing to show for it.
A whole lot of regret.
Yeah.
A whole lot of regret. But that's why every time I think of doing something, I have put it into motion. I certainly don't post everything that I make.
Oh, yeah.
I know a lot of people think that you should post everything that you make, but
no one needs to know everything.
Everyone doesn't need to see all of my crap. They can see some of it. I'll post some of my crap.
Well, that's like, and again, that's like into making plans and going from. That's one of those things where I said, I'm setting this goal for me for the whole Japan trip.
Yeah.
By the time I'm 30, I've given myself a reasonable time window. I'm putting plans in action to make it an actual thing.
And talking about it is huge too.
Yeah. Right.
Actually committing to telling people about these plans and stuff is huge. But like, unless you're...
And my invitation will remain open down the line if you're up for it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
If you're going to be available. Because like I said, if neither of us have anything going on at the time, I'd much rather go there with a friend than just go there solo and just kind of wander around aimlessly through Japan.
Every time I've thought about like going somewhere, like this summer, after I get my license back and everything, I really want to go somewhere. Right. I really want to just take a road trip. But then like I keep coming up with all these things like, oh, I want to go down to North Carolina. If I go to Fayetteville, North Carolina, a lot of those people aren't there anymore.
Yep.
So what am I going to do there? And then I'm like, okay, I'll go to Nashville. And then I'm like, I really like Nashville. Like, I like the idea of going to Nashville.
But if you're solo, you might be there 1 or 2 days, and you're kind of like, okay, what else?
What do I do? And then I was like, okay, maybe I'll go to Denver, Colorado, because there's a assload of skate parks and stuff out there, and I'll do something out there. And then I'm like, so I'll just go there and skate by myself and like not do anything. So I mean, I'm kind of at like a steadfast with this summer's trip, but I think I'm still gonna do something just because like I need to like get out. I haven't left Auburn. Like I think Syracuse is the furthest I've been in a long time.
Oh yeah, trust me.
Years.
I get you there.
But oh well. All right, man. Well, I think that should wrap it up for today.
Yeah, I think this is a really good session today.
Yeah.
So, looking forward to the next recording. Maybe we'll have that guy in as a guest. If not, we'll see what else we have going for us.
Yeah. And I definitely need to remember to put in the keyboard next time, because now I have to roll out of frame.
Like you didn't already do that earlier? All right. Good night, everyone. Thanks for watching if you bothered. We done?